The Kremlin said Thursday they were watching closely all statements and rhetoric coming from U.S. President Donald Trump, a day after he threatened Moscow with further sanctions if an agreement isn't reached to end the fighting in Ukraine. According to Associated Press in a post to his Truth Social site on Wednesday, Trump urged Russian President Vladimir Putin to settle now and stop this ridiculous war, adding that he would have no choice but to expand sanctions and increase tariffs on Russian goods. During his regular call with journalists on Thursday morning, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said these threats were nothing new. Trump, in his first iteration of his presidency, was the American president who most often resorted to sanctions methods. He likes these methods, Peskov said. Peskov added that Moscow remains ready for a mutually respectful dialogue.
Особо каких-то новых элементов мы здесь не усматриваем. Вы знаете, что Трамп в первую итерацию своего президентства был президентом Америки, который наиболее часто прибегал к санкционным методам. Ему нравятся эти методы, по крайней мере, они ему нравились в ходе его первого президента. А так мы очень внимательно наблюдаем, конечно, за всей риторикой, за всеми заявлениями. Мы фиксируем тщательно все нюансы. Мы остаемся готовы к диалогу, об этом президент Путин неоднократно говорил, к равноправному диалогу, к взаимоуважительному диалогу. Этот диалог имел место между двумя президентами, опять же, в бытность первого президентства Трампа. И ждем сигналов, которых пока не поступало. Мы всегда будем помнить и никогда не забудем помощь Соединенных Штатов во время Великой Отечественной войны. И надеемся, что американцы и президент Трамп разделят с нами радость празднования 80-летия Победы. Но давайте не забывать, что президент Путин, уже став президентом, завершил выплаты Соединенным Штатам по ленд-лизу за помощь, оказанную во время Великой Отечественной войны. Это тоже был бизнес.
Protesters gathered outside a federal courthouse in Las Vegas on Tuesday to protest a series of executive orders from President Donald Trump clamping down on the rights of immigrants. People can look at the first 4 years as kind of like him on training wheels, right, said demonstrator Hernan Alvarez Sanchez. These next 4 years, it seems like he's more prepared to manifest into reality his agenda. According to Associated Press, one of Trump's first moves on entering office was to end a century-old immigration practice known as birthright citizenship, guaranteeing that U.S.-born children are citizens regardless of their parent status. He also reversed several immigration orders from Biden's presidency, including one that narrowed deportation priorities to people who commit serious crimes, are deemed national security threats, or were stopped at the border. It returns the government to Trump's first-term policy that everyone in the country illegally is a priority for deportation. Relations between Moscow and Beijing. Those ties have grown even closer after Putin sent troops into Ukraine in 2022. China has become a major customer for Russian oil and gas and a source of key technologies amid sweeping Western sanctions on Moscow.
I have a few friends and family members as well who are in part of the immigrant community, and I do know that this coalition is doing a lot of work in this space to make sure we're bringing a lot of different organizations that have a common goal to uplift immigrant voices and bring awareness to what's going on in Congress, what's going on in the community regarding laws that are targeting these communities and essentially demonizing them. So I think it's important to make sure that the immigrants' voices are also heard. So I wanted to be here, make sure I'm, pitching in and showing support. People can look at the first 4 years as kind of like him on training wheels, right? And then now that he knows how it works, and he's just had an additional 4 years of just working, the political space outside of the presidency, these next 4 years seems like he's more prepared to, manifest into reality his agenda. Yeah, even before this, from the immigrants that I didn't know, there was always a hypervigilance to, just, doing anything, either accessing government, not that they're accessible to immigrants, right? But like submitting government forms, that was always like a fear for them, because there was always this like, what if this form goes in and then they track it and then they come and get us at our house? So there was always that hypervigilance, but it's been amplified even more now.
First and foremost, I was raised here in the state of Nevada. I grew up in the East Las Vegas community, so it's predominantly immigrants. I'm a child of immigrants myself. My family comes from Chihuahua, Mexico. I grew up in this community. I know I'm integrally tied to the community that is being affected by all of the policies that are as xenophobic and very anti-immigrant in this current state. And I am now a practicing immigration attorney with the UNLV Immigration Clinic, so I do deportation defense. I work with unaccompanied children and will also counsel adults in ICE detention. I think it's a little bit of everything. I think that in a sense we know what's coming because we know what has been promised to us over the campaign trail, and he's already sort of started instituting executive orders that he promised, right? Like we heard about his desire to want to end birthright citizenship, and that's one of the first executive orders that he instituted. And we need people to organize and to be able to stand up against those policies that are ongoing, because it's just the power of the people that is really going to make sure that these policies stop in their tracks. Just from personal experience, I know that people have I know that people are scared, right? I know that a lot of people actually aren't scared, and they're, I think over the next few weeks, really going to start to feel the effects of everything really settling in.